Greetings, all of you. You call me Ninja Yatsu, and welcome here to One Piece Bounty Rush. At this point, I've been going for the title of Saint Charlos, the final 2-star in the game as of this point. He was added in as an April Fool's character. And despite being a 2-star, he actually has a few decent things going for him that don't really show in this meta. So he can survive with 1 HP and heal as long as he's in the treasure area. His skill 2 does some percentage damage, which is pretty good because that's a nice fixed rate no matter what his attack stat is. And he can slightly buff allies' attack. On to the next one. Hody. He is a nice fishman. He's a runner that buffs himself up by, inhaling copious amounts of illicit objects. I am not even sure if I am allowed to say that on YouTube. However, that's what he does. His skill 2 hits really hard, ignoring damage reduction. His skill 1 gives him a nice amount of damage reduction unless Kizaru is right there to take away that buff. And it heals him a bit, and gives him an immunity to status effects. So overall, he is pretty good, but he gets countered by Kizaru a bit. I picked these two because obviously they're the best of friends. There is no reason to assume otherwise. I mean, Saint Charlos here even has a nice trait that interacts with fishmen. Shows how much he loves them, right? It's even on his medal. Now, that's a scary thing to see, because Kizaru, well, obviously he hits quite a lot. He hits pretty hard, but also he is one of the characters that can ignore that survive with 1 HP trait that Saint Charlos relies on to defend. Not that it really works against characters that can just ignore them and capture anyway, but it helps. And it looks like that's the end of this game. Well, maybe not. What were they thinking giving Kizaru a trait that makes him immune to skill attacks while also being immune to all attacks when he's performing skills? Does he really need a kit that overtuned? But hey, at least we have a defender that has a potentially unlimited number of lives. And on to the next one. While you're defending, you've got to be really careful because the Kizaru skill is just gonna jump scare you out of nowhere, so you've got to be prepared for that if you can be. Really hard because that just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's a good thing I have Kizaru on my team to command around like that. He's part of my skill too, after all. Finally a matchup that St. Charlos is good at. Oh, and then Luffy pops up like that. When Hody buffs himself with skill 1, that makes him immune to status effects, which is really good for when Kizaru hits the treasures with that trait area. Well, I was trying to go for that, but he got it first. And let's have a look at these titles. Let's start off with St. Charlos. Buy it for 500 million. Is that title technically pay to win? Does this disqualify me from being a free-to-play player? I don't know. What I do know is that Tana P can't keep getting away with it. Oh yeah, his medals. I went with a nice damage reduction set for defenders. And this completes my set of 2-star titles, at least for now, until they release more. And as for Hody Jones, let's see that title. Family friendly, everyone. Family friendly. And as for the medals that I equipped him with, I gave him plenty of attack, a little defense. I gave him the Inaru set, which gives him a little damage reduction, and a little bit of skill 2 cooldown, and a tiny chance to shock when attacked, all of which comes in clutch at times. And this title run has not been easy. Whether it's from the throwers that just kind of feel like having me play as this team over and over again and be on their team specifically. Over and over again. How shameful. Can't even keep up with the 2-star. Or, of course, there are people that have to use hacks to keep up with a 2-star character. And, of course, auto-clickers who don't even play the game. However, there are times when St. Charlos really shines in some favorable matchups like this, where I am essentially being 3v1'd against characters that don't really have a good way to KO him. Anyways, that will be all. Until next time, and enjoy the rest of this clip.